Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pink Possibilities. And tonight we have a special guest. Her name is Bonita Payton, and she's absolutely beautiful. And tonight we're going to be learning more about the Pink Possibilities. And she's going to be talking more about her business and everything about the Pink Possibilities.
Man, this is wonderful. I am so glad to be here with you. And my beautiful sister, I feel like you are so beautiful also tonight.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for saying yes. I know we're going to have a lot of fun tonight, and we're going to talk more about this inside scoop of what is a pink possibilities. How can this pink opportunity make a big impact in your life? And Bonita, I have a question. How long have you been in business?
It was just 1 year on September the 11th.
Oh, wow, a year.
So it's
A
been like
year.
a year and like 2 months, a year and a month.
Oh, yeah. And how has that year been for you?
It's been a roller coaster, but I mean, it's been an exciting roller coaster
I bet.
because for for me, you would have told me a year ago I would have been doing Mary Kay, I would have laughed you out the room.
Wow.
I just, I would have been,
What did
I
you
would
used
have
to do
been
back
like,
then?
so I have a full time, my full time career is IT. I've been doing it for 31 years. I had a DJ, an international DJ company for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
So I've been used to being in a man's world.
Mm-hmm.
I have never in my life been the girl who hung out with the girls.
Oh, wow. So, how is
So
it being with the girls?
it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment. It really is. But it's a good adjustment
Mm-hmm.
because for once in my life, I realized that other women actually go through the things that I go through.
Mm.
You know, you know, not saying that I don't have any female friends.
Mm-hmm.
I have few female friends, and none of them live around me. Like,
Mm.
I have a consultant that
Uh-huh.
became a friend that lives here now. But before her,
Oh,
no, there
wow.
was no female around me that I did girl things with, that I hung out with, that I talked to. You know, I had
Mm-hmm.
friends from high school that I talked to on the phone. I have girlfriends in cities that I lived in, one or
Mm-hmm.
two. But I mean, I've never been the girl who, oh, let me grab my girls and we're going to brunch.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been that girl.
Oh, wow. Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what would you say would be like
So it
a,
was like when, go ahead.
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, it's like the thing that got me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got into Mary Kay, which poor Erica was it, she was persistent because my answer was no. And I
Mm.
told her no 4 times, and she was going to get it a fifth time. I was like, I'm not selling anything. I don't like females. I don't even wear makeup like that. I put on makeup when I have to go outside, like lights, camera, action, if I have something to go do. And then when I come home, the first thing I do is take it off. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
into skincare, when Kim asked me what I wash my face with, I said, "Do I really have to answer that question?" So I mean, I was just like, you know, I was the girl that went in the Big Lot, and if they had a sale and this stuff said it was cucumber something that I could put on my face, I was that girl.
Oh wow.
So I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't even know anybody in this city because I moved here 5 years ago. I worked
Mhm.
from home the whole 5 years. So the only people I knew was my next door neighbor, the next door neighbor on the other side of me, and the two other ladies that lived on the street. And when I first sent them a message and said I was doing Mary Kay, they all told me they were not interested.
Mhm.
And they knew everybody in the city, especially the one on the right. She's been here her whole life. Her and the one at the end of the street, they have lived in this city their whole life. So I was like, yes, they know everybody.
Yeah.
If they start buying, they can have parties and then I can branch out. And they were like, no. I was like, no. Dang, now what I'm going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. I know how that feels.
So I was like, there's no need of me getting into Mary Kay. So
Mhm.
I just thought it wasn't for me.
Mhm. Wow.
I was like, hang out with a whole bunch of women. What, they gonna be crying and talking about their emotions and their problems and cooking and girl stuff when you work with guys all the time, and you used to talk about football and basketball and what was the score and who won and what's in your fantasy and you know your fantasy players
Mhm.
playing. you know that was the world that I knew.
Yeah.
We talked about music,
So a huge difference.
but it was
Mhm.
like Mary Kay. Mary Kay totally changed my whole life
Wow.
completely.
Wow. How was your life back
You
then,
know,
and how is your life now? Like when I mean,
so I was lucky.
mhm.
I was lucky. I got into a great area. I had a great director, and they were in my life,
Mhm.
you know, and it was like when I got recruited, my recruiter introduced me to the director, and I was overwhelmed. And I know that's a word we're not supposed to say in Mary Kay, but she has so much energy. It was like I signed up and then I got this phone call. Congratulations, you started your business. So excited. I was like, oh my God, she is on 20. Um, what am I finna do? Because this lady is on 20, you know? And that's just the way I felt. I was like, she's on 20. She gotta bring it down, you know? But it was like, she started telling me about Mary Kay and she told me her eye story and I was like, okay. And she was like, I'm here for you. I'm gonna show you how to do it. And I was
Mhm.
like, okay. I was like, how many free cars have you gotten? She said, I'm going on my sixth. Okay, I'm listening. you know, and then they were happened to be coming to Columbus, which is like an hour and a half away from me, to Brittany Jinx's national debut. And she said, can you meet us there? And I looked at my work schedule and I was like, I'm going to put in for Friday off. I'm coming. And so when I got there, I was looking at all of these ladies and I'm like, what have I got myself into? And why are all of these women on 20? Like, what is wrong with them? What are they drinking? Why are they so happy? What is the problem?
Mhm.
I was like, I was looking around the whole time. My head was like on a swivel, like it is why all of them on happy juice, you know. And like we went in, and my first big impression was when we walked into this. Well, the first thing is we drove into this parking lot, and it looked like I was on a car lot of pink Cadillacs. First thing I did is I got on live with my kids, and my kids are grown. They're like 37 and 30. And they was like, Ma, what dealership you at? I was like, I'm not at a dealership. This is an event for Mary Kay. And these Cadillacs belong to people, And I put it on live. I was like, oh, all these pink Cadillacs. Because normally, you see one or two drive through your city, but
Mhm.
I had never seen that many.
Mhm.
And then we walked in, they start, and they had this awesome praise and worship. And I was like, so they really do God first for real. Hmm, okay. So they got me a
Mhm.
little hype, but I was still head on a swivel the whole time. All these ladies. It's a lot of ladies in this church. And that was the one thing that was like really tripping me out. All the ladies.
Mhm.
I was used to in IT for 31 years. I'm normally the only woman in IT. There might be one other. I'm always the only woman at a table. So I'm tripping. Like in IT, there's might be one woman in leadership, maybe, you know, but
Mhm.
there's like no women. And I'm like, okay, so when women started coming on the stage and they started talking, you know, I'm like, what it does, like, mm, all of these are just rich women. They've been rich, you know, they didn't have normal lives, you know, and that's not what I heard.
Mhm.
They would get on stage and they was like, yeah, I dropped out of college 4 times. And I'm a national sales director and I'm a millionaire. What? You dropped out of college 4 times and you still a millionaire? You didn't climb the corporate ladder? None of that? you know. The next one came up and she was like, yeah, I was in a domestic violence relationship for 15 years of my life, and my husband gave me black eyes, and I ran away, and I started a Mary Kay business, and now I'm a national sales director. What? And it was like story after story like that.
Mhm.
Normal women. I was a
Mhm.
single mom. I was divorced. You know, I was working 4 jobs and what? Like, that's not what I expected to hear, you
Mhm.
know. So it caught my attention. And then we broke off to go to class. And I was standing there because I was a consultant. So I had on my little black jacket and my little white shirt and my little black skirt. And this beautiful woman walks up to me and she shakes my hand and calls me by my name. And I'm like, who is this lady? I don't know this lady. How does this lady know my name? And it was Christian. And I was like, and even after she introduced herself, I still didn't know who she was.
Mhm.
you know. And so When Kim came back, because Kim had went to another class, and I said, Kim, some lady named Christian spoke to me. And she started laughing. She goes, that's your national sales director. I was like, oh, she's Sharp National Area. Didn't have a clue, you know.
Mhm.
But it was like after we went through all our classes, she had a meeting for her national area in another room. And it was a circle of us. And it was like, I want to say 15 of us in this circle. And, I'm still sitting there, wall up, because, I'm not used to this whole emotion woman stuff, you know. And they all started talking about how they felt about being there and their business and what was going on with them. And they were crying and being emotional. And I was like, I've never seen this before. Like, are all these people strangers and they just telling their business like this and being all vulnerable in front of strangers? You know? So,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm tripping. So, Christian got to me and she says, how do you feel? And I said, I don't know how to feel. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, I have never experienced anything like this in my whole life. I've never been around a whole lot of women that are this vulnerable and this real, that are not fake. And I don't know how to feel right now. I
Mhm.
say, I know it feels. And she goes, since you joined Mary Kay, how do you feel? I said, it's night and day from my corporate job. I said, in my corporate job, nobody appreciates anybody. I put in 17 hours a day. I have to have an answer for everything and everybody. It's really stressful. Nobody cares about what somebody else feels in corporate America.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to know about my life. Nobody asks me how my kids are doing. They
Mhm.
definitely don't tell me God first, family second, and career third. They tell me career first, second, and third.
Mhm.
I was like, so I'm I'm adjusting, you know. And she was like, it'll be fine. We're here for you. It's okay. And I'm still like, these people don't even know me. All these people live in Atlanta. They're gonna leave and I'm never gonna see these people again. You know,
Mhm.
and I'm just gonna be out here by because in the job that I have, I'm always on an island by myself. It's like leadership put me in a position. They tell the client, Bonita's me. Everything goes through Bonita. She can handle everything
Mhm.
and you'll be okay. And I never had anybody to reach up to. I never had anybody to go ask questions to. I never had, if I had a problem, I had to figure it out because I didn't
Mhm.
have anybody to go to. It was all on me. So in Mary Kay, it was like, Bonita, just reach up. And I'm like, reach up. Reach up to who? I can contact you. And Christian was like, yes, I'm your national. You can talk to me anytime. I was like, I don't have to go through Erica and Kim to talk to you. And she was like, no. And I was like, okay. And then so we all left there and we went to dinner.
Mhm.
Remind you, the whole time, work is blowing up my phone. And and Christian's hearing me answer the phone. And I'm like, guys, Y'all know I'm on vacation. Is this not something that you guys can handle? Do you really need me? You know, and every time they was like, but we need you to figure this out for us, and I was like, and I would tell Christian, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. And I kept leaving and coming back. And so she looked at me. She goes, Bonita, what do you do for a living? And I said, I'm the service delivery manager of a huge healthcare center IT department. So it's up to me to make sure that this IT department and this company is always working. So everything has to come through me.
Mhm.
And anything goes wrong, the client is going to come to me and I'm going to be held responsible for everything going wrong. And she was like, wow, you know. So then she says, what would it take for you to do Mary Kay full time? And I fell out laughing, because like me and Kim had went over like the little plan, and they explained the whole 50% profit to me, and I had been studying the product and I've been studying the prices, and
Mhm.
they had showed me the worksheet where you have to do this many faces to make this much money. And I looked and I said, Christian, I would have to do a whole lot of faces to make the six figures that I make. I don't know about going full time into Mary Kay because I can't do that many faces. I don't even know that many people. And she goes, Bonita, I'm a national sales director. Not only am I a national sales director, I'm a multimillionaire and I can teach you. And I looked at her. I said, you're going to mentor me? She said, yes. I will teach you everything you need to know. I need you in my leadership team. And at that point, that's what turned on the light and the fire, because in my corporate job, I was fighting for my promotions. I was doing the job, but I worked at a company out of India.
Mhm.
They were fighting me on promotions, they were fighting me on my evaluations, but they wanted me to keep doing what I was doing, but they didn't want to compensate me. They didn't want to promote me. They go, oh, well, maybe next year. Well, maybe next year. I was like, but I'm doing the work right now,
Mhm.
you know. And so when we left there, Kim challenged me to get my red jacket. When we got there, I had only been in the business a month. I had already recruited like 7 people, within my first month,
Wow.
but all of them weren't active, you
Mhm.
know, because they had told me just go sign these people up and they'll handle the rest. Okay, let me go get some more people, but I did end up going into my red jacket by November. I got invited to Christians to Diamond Weekend uh, to start my process of being on my way to be a director. My first goal was to go into DIQ by December 1st.
Mhm.
And at that time, that put so much stress on me because, yeah, I had the people on my team, but these people didn't have the fire like I had. Like I had
Mhm.
one, my best friend out of California. My best friend used to be my public relations person when I was in the music industry. So she
Mhm.
was the first person that I reached out to when I got into Mary Kay. I
Yeah.
said, look, you got to do this with me. You were my PR person, so you got to do this with me, you know. And I was like, we're going to do this together, And she was like, I'm with you, B, let's do it. So I was like, okay. So we were rolling. We were we had everybody going. You know, it was like every time you turned around, people were signing up and they was like, oh, she has a gold medal, she's silver medal. And so that set the fire onto Kim's Dream Believers group because every time I got somebody new, they was like, oh, she signed somebody else. And they was like, I'm signing somebody else. So we went on a run, and that's how we became the team that recruited so many people. And we had so many red jackets. And Kim, I think Kim became number one and number two because I think we had like 10 red jackets back to back during that quarter. And then Kim was working on her pink Cadillac. She wanted the second pink Cadillac. And she told me that was her goal. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay. I was like, and so I reset my date because I was like, I'm not gonna make it for December the 1st, you know. So I was like, first of the year, I'm doing this, you know.
Mhm.
So December, I was working, and working. And what happened, like the middle of the month, I needed two more people and I could submit to go into DIQ. I had two girlfriends call me and say, what do you need us to do to help you to make this happen? And I said, I need you to sign up for the $35 and I need you to put in an active order of at least $225. They say, bet, I got you. At that point, I took my eye off the ball and I was working more on my personal,
Mhm.
because I had a grandparent going on. And I had 72 people that I was trying to get donations to do this nursing home for. So I took my eye off the ball of recruiting because these two people told me, we got you. So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have my 8. I'm gonna submit January the 1st. December the 27th came. I'm like, hey, you guys haven't signed up yet. You hadn't put in your active order yet. And it was like, oh, we got you. December 31st came, no active order. And I hadn't recruited two other people. So I was so depressed and I was hurt because I felt
Mhm.
like I had let Christian and Kim them down because I told them I
Mhm.
was going to do it by that date. And I was like, I went on this emotional roller coaster because I was like, this is crazy, you know? And so when January came and I couldn't submit, I was still working, but we had pushed so hard for the pink Cadillac because we did accomplish that goal for Kim, and Kim did qualify for her pink Cadillac, but we had pushed so hard that we were burnt out.
Mhm.
So by the time January came, I didn't recruit anybody at all in January. And then that also meant, and I didn't soar. So that meant I couldn't be on the leadership calls in the morning anymore.
Mhm.
And I had gotten so used to being on the leadership calls that month I was lost. And I was like, this will
Mhm.
never be another month. I will never not be on the leadership calls because I didn't recruit or I didn't soar. I need this call every morning. And I was like, okay, so what do I do? So the people that were active, now they didn't fell off.
Mhm.
Now I only got two people that's active and I'm I'm in panic mode. I can't fall out my red jacket. I can't fall out my red jacket, you know. And
Yeah.
so I was able to keep my red jacket. And Kim told me, she says, The key to keeping your red jacket is you have to keep recruiting. You just
Mm-hmm.
have to keep recruiting. And I was like, okay, I'll keep recruiting. So it was like I was recruiting, but these people weren't going active.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here I am with 30 some people on my team and can't get 8 people active. And so I was like, okay, if it's if it is to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
I gotta make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I set a goal. I
Yeah.
want to be in DIQ before I go to Seminole, and I'm gonna make it happen. So I hit the ground running again. I was like, I gotta shake this off. You know, I gotta do this. Whatever it takes, I'm gonna do it. So I was like putting my game plan together, strategizing, thinking about it, you know, and I ended up making it equal to me and my partner playing dominoes. Because that's our thinking game. We play
Mm-hmm.
dominoes online, because it makes us focus, it makes us strategize, and it makes us look for options. Because no, I don't care how many times I lose, I ain't giving up. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
how many times he beat me, I'm gonna restart this game. You're just not gonna beat me and I'm gonna give up. It ain't happening. I'm gonna figure out how to win.
Yeah.
And that was the mentality that
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking. I gotta treat Mary Kay like I do a domino game, and I gotta figure out how to win. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta figure out how to meet people locally, so I can do faces locally, so I can sell locally, so I can do
Mm-hmm.
parties locally. I got on Nextdoor. Like I had a Nextdoor account, but I would just go look and I was like, oh, they talking about cats lost and dogs lost and somebody broke in this house and somebody
Mm-hmm.
need a handyman for this. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna start posting about Mary Kay on here. And I'm going to meet some people locally. And so
Mm-hmm.
I started making these posts. People started commenting on them. And everybody that commented, I went and friend request them, added them to my connections. I was like, okay, this the way I'm gonna do this. This the way I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, okay. So then I went to the Y. I was like, can I do free skincare classes here for the seniors? And they was like, sure. Okay. So then I started meeting some of the seniors at the Y. I was like, okay. And then you finna laugh, but I had this bright idea because for 5 years I had watched my brothers, which are preachers, and my nephews, which are preachers, on TV, and I hadn't found a local church.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually ended up going in a hospital that January. My next
Mm-hmm.
door neighbor walked in and she had on her jeans and this jean jacket and these boots and this t-shirt. And she got ready to leave. And she said, well, I got to get ready to go to church. And I said, you go to church like that? And she was like, yes. I said, what church you go to? And she told me, I said, is that close to our house? And she was like, yes. And I walked in the church. God forgive me. And I looked around and I was like, there's a lot of I can beat a lot of people. Everybody in church got a face. So I was like, I'm in heaven. I found faces. I'm going to church. You know, eventually, though, I did start going to church just to go to church, not because I was excited because a whole bunch of faces that I could do Mary
Yeah.
Kay. You know, but it was a huge church with a whole bunch of
Mm-hmm.
faces. You know? But it was like everything. like just started clicking for me. It was like I was getting to know women and I was seeing how real all of you guys were. All of you guys were open. And it wasn't like women trying to stab other women in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was women generally helping other women.
Mm-hmm.
And they were sincere. I
Yeah.
was like, you know, like, where's the knife? Women stab women in the back. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, and I wasn't seeing that. It was like everybody was like, oh, you need help with this? You need help with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you guys started talking about the pink bubble, and I was like, the pink bubble, you know? And then I
Mm-hmm.
really realized we do live in a pink bubble and we have
Mm-hmm.
to stay in the pink
Yeah.
because out of our pink bubble, people don't understand what we do. People don't
Mm-hmm.
understand who we are. People don't understand why we do what we do,
Yeah.
you know? And it's a lot of negativity outside our pink bubble,
Yeah.
you know, because people get it confused,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's like the possibilities once you come into Mary Kay, you work it on your own time. It's flexible.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if I can take a lunch break, I can do some stuff on my lunch break. If
Yeah.
I had to work all day, in between meetings, I was over here texting people because I could do it on my phone. I could just
Mm-hmm.
send out, I could do beauty bars, I could do pamper sessions, and I didn't have
Yeah.
to leave home, and it was flexible, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
so it's a world of possibilities.
Yeah.
When I had more month than money,
Mm-hmm.
I just sold something. It was like, oh, okay. And when Christmas came, everybody got Mary Kay for Christmas. I had my own store. I bought
Yeah.
50% off.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's getting Mary Kay. You get Mary Kay. You get Mary Kay. Like Oprah. And you get Mary Kay.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's just like possibilities at Mary Kay are endless. And it's
Yeah.
not only just financial,
Mm-hmm.
it's a personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
Things that I do today, I would have never done a year ago. You tell
Yeah.
me to go warm chat somebody a year ago, I was looking at y'all like I'll text them.
Mm-hmm.
Not walking up to no stranger and talking about, oh, your eyes are so beautiful. I'm not doing that, but I got comfortable with it.
Yeah.
The whole share within 3 feet. Anybody that's 3 feet, you share the business. Hey, no, I'm not doing that. No. But it's just I mean, it's awesome. And I
Yeah.
just wish people would be open minded,
Yeah.
and given
Mm-hmm.
opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And but they have to be in Mary Kay, right? They
Yeah.
just can't join it.
Yeah.
They have to come to training. They have to come to meetings. They have
Yeah.
to talk to other people in Mary Kay,
Mm-hmm.
because if not, they're gonna go Mary Kay heaven, because they're gonna talk to 3 or 4 people and they're gonna say,
Yeah.
girl, don't nobody buy that stuff. And then they're not gonna do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But being in it and you see people selling, you see people
Mm-hmm.
signing up, you see these people talking about these bonus checks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you're like,
Yep.
girl, you selling. And then we have all the tools. We don't have
Yeah.
to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
This company been around for 60 years, and
Yeah.
they got everything laid out. What to say, how to say it, when to
Mm-hmm.
say it, what not to say, all the product information, all the training, all the marketing, everything.
Everything.
There's no other business out there. I tried to do credit repair. They wanted to charge me $19.99 a month for the website,
Oh.
$59.99 for credit card process, and $170 a month to use the software.
Oh wow.
And I never got the stupid company off the ground because of all the financial regulations I had to go through in Ohio. So I spent all of this money for a year and never got to do not one credit repair under my company. So it ain't nothing like the opportunity like we get at Mary Kay. For
Yeah.
what, $10 this month?
$10.
You
That's a steal.
you can barely buy a Whopper. You can barely buy a Whopper meal for $10.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you eat it, it's gone.
Yeah, that's true.
And that Whopper meal ain't gonna help you make no money.
Mm-hmm.
You can't write taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So it's wonderful. And I would, I'm in my fourth month of DIQ,
Congratulations.
and and it's like you pray, you push, and you pray and
Yeah.
you ask God to
Yeah.
put people in your path,
Mm-hmm.
and you just, like they say, if it's to be, it's up to me.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you keep recruiting, you keep sharing, you keep selling, and as Christian told us, you're a consultant first, and you
Yeah,
always a consultant, and that's the way you move up. Pink, pink possibilities.
to the pink
Remember, first,
possibilities.
you're always a beauty consultant.
Yeah, that's true. That's so
Yep,
true. Well, Bonita, thank you so much for every single word you said tonight. I am thankful that you said yes. And I just hope that if there's anybody out there, that can feel what Bonita's saying and like have any curiosity or any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you once again, Bonita. And I hope you enjoyed this time with me. I know I did.
I did. I did. Guys, listening to her, being a part of her world, you guys need to stay in her world. She's an
Yeah.
angel. She's a diamond, and she's just a beautiful person. And I'm so glad to be here with you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope to see each and every one of you next Thursday, 7:30 with another special guest. And Bonita, thank you once again. Have a great night, gorgeous. Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so it's doing the 30-minute countdown.